Well, good afternoon, everybody. We thank you for joining us on yourliveevent.com for the 2020 Central Valley graduation ceremony coming here in the gym at Central Valley School. We are so excited to be able to bring this to you here on yourliveevent.com. Graduation ceremony coming here in the gym at Central Valley School. We are so excited to be able to bring this to you here on yourliveevent.com.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Central Valley Class of 2020, I would like to welcome everyone here today and those watching online. As a small class of 15, you can imagine we are pretty close. Most of us have been together since preschool. Most of us have been together since preschool, so we have seen each other through every phase of our young lives. We have definitely learned not to take ourselves too seriously because we have each other to keep us humble. Above all, we like to laugh, and with that comes good-natured teasing. As I was writing my speech, I thought I wanted to tell you about our class, and I thought the best way was to get their perspective and include it in my speech. So I created a Google survey and asked them to fill in the blank with the classmate that they felt best fit the criteria. The results are interesting to say the least. I will share those results and you will have to see if you agree. Carson and Joey were overwhelmingly voted for the best bromance, and that did not surprise any of us. The couple who should have dated was Coy and Gina. Russell was voted most likely to be tardy. The most athletic guy in our class was Carson, but there's a tie for the girls. They were Abby and Erin. Erin even revealed on basketball senior night that her special talent is that she can dunk the ball when no one's watching. The most musical person in our class is Abigail. Abigail sings in the select choir and plays the viola. This is why we chose her to play our national anthem today. Voted as being class clown is Luke. He also won for having the best comebacks. We always have to be on our toes around Luke. You never know what he will do. Zayden won for the most artistic class member. Joey was voted most likely to become a farmer. We all know that his dream is to farm with his brother and dad. Erin was voted most likely to become TikTok or YouTube famous. She also received the most votes for the classmate to always have snacks. Thanks, Erin, for always keeping us fed. Carl was voted most likely to become an evil scientist. Coy and Molly tied for the classmates most likely to get punched in the face. Luke and Hunter were voted most likely to go to jail for something stupid. Gina was voted most likely to be on a reality TV show. I didn't have my classmates vote on this one because I'm reminded every day by them that I am the worst speller. Abby even gave me a little kid's spelling book for my 16th birthday. Thank you, Abby. For most likely to win the lottery ticket and lose it, there was a tie between Gina and Erin. Molly and Russell also tied for most likely to have homework due on the last day of school. For the question of most likely to go on a blind date arranged by their mom, there were two winners. Coy won for the guys and Gina won for the girls. Courtney was voted most likely to trip at graduation, while Kyle was voted most likely to fall out of his chair today. So as you have heard, we truly know how to kid with one another. Each and every person in our class has impacted us in some way, and we are partly the reason we are today. My classmates are intelligent, funny, and lighthearted. Above all, we are strong and resilient. We have not had the best senior year, but have taken it rather well. We have maintained our sense of humor and made the most of it. We all have so many things that we are looking forward to, and we know that good things are to come. We all have this great foundation as being members of the class of 2020. Lastly, I want to thank each and every one of you here today. You've made an impact on the graduates here who sit here today. We probably don't say it enough, but we're also thankful for your guidance, the prayers, the tears, and the love that has been shown to each and every one of us. We are who we are today because of you and because of each other. Thank you.
Caitlin's speech was so good we had to hear it twice. I'm not gonna lie, I'm sweating a lot right now, and I'm gonna try my hardest not to cry, and I said I wasn't going to, but the minute the music started, it was like tears, and I'm just gonna do my best. In our many years at Central Valley, there are so many different things that I will never be able to forget. Some are the small and simple things that I'm not sure other people would find that funny. Like the time we had to sing the Put Your Name on Your Paper song to Coy every morning for an entire year in elementary because he never remembered to write his name on his paper. Some of them are the ones that we will all remember forever, like the time in second grade when Caitlin threw up on Coy's Lucky Glitter spelling test pencil, or the great school uniform debate of freshman year. If you've read the title of my speech in your program, you've seen that we are the self-named favorite class of any teacher who has had us in class. So in this speech, I'll be giving you just a few examples of why we are the best. I know that right now at home, Mrs. Britton, you're denying it, saying, "Really?" But I take great pride in saying that, Mrs. Britton, you can no longer send us to the practice room. To start, we have always had a very easy time getting along. Like the time in first grade when Abby and I disagreed on what game we were going to play in the sandbox. The next day, Abby came back to school and to let me know that she had poured sour milk over my name on the piece of paper that she kept a list of her friends on. I was devastated, obviously, until we both wanted to play magic on the playground that day during recess. Everything was forgiven. Also, just this year, when Luke Coy and I would compete to see how many times a day we could sneak up on one another and slap each other with a handful of hand sanitizer. We were using hand sanitizer before the virus made it necessary. Also, just today, when Luke told Coy that our call time today was 12:45 and not 1:45. He's been here for a long time. Secondly, our class is extremely well behaved, and I have a few examples for this one. In third grade, Mrs. Cleveland decided to skip our social studies class so that we could walk up and down the entire hallway at least 10 times because we couldn't figure out how to walk normally in a straight line. In fourth grade, Mrs. Ingebrigtsen left the room for 2 minutes and came back to find all of the boys in a dog pile in the corner of the room. They had to sit with their heads on the desk for the rest of the day. We also rarely have to be told to be quiet, and I have proof of this one, solid proof. Starting in freshman year, I wrote every single thing that happened at school that I thought was funny or worth remembering in my planner. But starting in March of freshman year, I used my planner to conduct an experiment. Molly and I sat in the back during math class with Mr. Walsh. Every time he had to tell a certain person, group of people, or the entire class to be quiet or to focus, we would make a tally in my planner. I think it started because someone said that Molly and I never paid attention in math, and I wanted to prove that we were not the only ones. Anyway, after all these years, I just counted up the tallies for the first time. And after all of these years in total, from the months of March through May, we were only told to be quiet 86 times. Third, of course, our class is extremely smart and very logical when it comes to current events. And some may be wondering why out of all the flowers in the world, we chose a weed as our class flower. In 8th grade, we took a North Dakota Studies test where one of the questions was, what is the North Dakota state flower? Coy claims he wrote it as a joke, but the rest of us are all pretty convinced that he actually thought the dandelion was our state flower. Later, in the spring of 8th grade, Mr. Berge had us all write an essay on who we thought was the best candidate for the 2016 presidential election. We were 8th graders, and we didn't really know much about the people still in the running, so instead most of us picked the candidate who we thought had the coolest name. The day it was due, I remember walking into class and asking Caitlin who she had written her essay on. She looked me right in the eye, and she told me she had written her essay on the best possible candidate, Tom Cruise. Of course, Tom Cruise was not a candidate for the 2016 election. Caitlin had just gotten the actor confused with the senator, Ted Cruz. Lastly, our entire class is very good at handling embarrassing situations. And we'd know because we get into embarrassing situations a lot. Like in kindergarten, when Joey fell getting onto the bus and knocked both of his front teeth out. Or in second grade music class when Luke tried to pull the stand up to his height, knocked himself in the chin, and got a very large and noticeable mark right here. It was school picture day. Like in freshman year English when we watched the movie Of Mice and Men, and I sobbed uncontrollably through the entire ending. Mr. Fikert stood behind me, patting my back and handing me tissues. And through my tears, I just kept saying, "I'm fine, I just need a minute." And of course, just this year, when Russell bent over at his locker and Luke noticed that there was an unfortunate rip right at the crack. Russell went home to change, and while he was gone, the guys changed his screensaver and his profile picture to the image of SpongeBob and his ripped pants. They also played SpongeBob's song, Ripped Pants, on speaker when he walked back into the building. When I was writing this speech, I tried to think back to my first memory I had of Central Valley. For me, it was playing with this very specific blue dinosaur every day during playtime in preschool. Things were much easier then. Then I tried thinking about my last memory of Central Valley. On Friday, March 13th, I remember us all sitting in Mr. Berge's class together. We were all still so excited from the boys' region championship win the night before, and I don't think we got anything done. Our biggest worry at the time was that the state championship would be canceled, and Carson and Joey wouldn't get one last chance at a state title, or that we wouldn't be there to cheer them on. If only we knew that this was the last class that all 15 of us would ever have together. Our last day should have been us all walking around and saying goodbye to all of our teachers, holding back tears. We should have been cleaning up the senior lounge and playing one last round of Mario Kart on the Wii. Instead, our last day of high school was extremely average. We went to our classes, we did our homework, and we left without saying goodbye, without knowing. If I could go back in time, I would go back to that moment in Mr. Berge's class. I'd hug my friends and let them know how much our time together meant to me before it was gone. I'd thank my teachers for all the lessons they've taught me. Our senior year was extremely unconventional. No homecoming parade or dance, no final music concerts, no last sporting event, no senior lounge, no prom, and a socially distant graduation ceremony. I never would have imagined that it would end this way, but I think that we have all come out of it stronger than before. My hope is that after this is all over, we won't grieve the opportunities and the memories that we lost, but be able to appreciate the ones we did have even more. And now that we're here, I can say, class of 2020, we did it. Thank you.
What a year. We appreciate everyone taking time today to come be with us. Certainly not the way we envisioned this when this year started, but this is the hand we're dealt, and there are much worse things that could be happening than having a socially distanced graduation. I want to start off with thank yous. First of all, the administrative team, Lynetta, Frank, Michelle. This district's extremely lucky to have that crew working for them. That's a great group of people. They do a wonderful job. We owe them a lot. Our ancillary people, Jerry, Tim, Sonia, our paraprofessionals who came in and helped with our lunches. We're just so fortunate to have that group working for us. And then, of course, our teachers. To go from traditional education that was 120 years old to a completely different form in 10 days, you have no idea the work that went into that. We overhauled the educational system in about 10 days, and it wasn't easy. But the teachers, to their credit, they all stepped up. There wasn't complaining. There wasn't unnecessary issues. They stepped up and they got the job done. And that didn't surprise me. That's the crew we have working for us. So I feel very fortunate to get to work with that team. So we owe them a lot, without question. 27 years ago, I was in Glenfield, North Dakota, 18 years old, sitting in chairs like this, except we were on the stage and there was a lot more people in the gym. And I was getting ready to graduate. 10 boys, 10 girls, 20 of us in our class. Of course, you do alphabetical seating, right? So Brant, I'm in the front row. As you can see, I'm a much better door than a window. So the person behind me didn't get to see any of the ceremony, and that person's mom and dad didn't get to see them the whole time because I'm like an eclipse. They were completely blocked out. That was one time the alphabetical seating worked against us. But this is a true story. A female classmate of mine, she sat right off to the right of me, and she was very emotional. She's a friend of mine, obviously 20 people in our class. She's crying very hard. And to try to lighten the mood, I leaned over to her and I said, "We're never going to see each other again." She replied with, "Jeremy, shut up!" and cried much harder. I can still see my mom and dad. They're sitting right down off to my side. Mom, very emotional. Dad, wanting to get out in the field, looking like, is this done yet? I had a lot more hair in my head. I had less hair in my ears and nose, and I was 40 pounds less. Well, since then, lots has happened. Some of the things that happened, I played in 121 college basketball games, winning 77, losing 44. And I can tell you, I don't hardly remember how to get to the school some days in my car, but I can remember about every one of those games, truthfully. I moved a few times. I went to Devil's Lake. I went back to Binford. I went back to Devil's Lake. I moved to Fargo, back to Binford, to Jamestown, back to Fargo, back to Jamestown, back to Fargo, back to Devil's Lake, to Grand Forks, and now finally to Buxton. My wife, she was my girlfriend. We dated and broke up twice before we figured it out. Became a father 3 times. I taught middle school PE in 6th grade to hundreds of kids. I coached hundreds of basketball games from grades 4 up to the collegiate level. I was an elementary principal, a K-12 principal, and now I'm a superintendent. My biggest takeaway from the last 27 years is that it went fast. Not every day, not every week, or not every month, but as a whole, it's been a blur. This group of seniors, what a group. I look at these kids, each one of them, and in my head, memories come back of their time at CV. And I could tell you, or I could tell you a story, I could talk about each one of these kids that sit in front of us. What I see, first of all, is a group of 4- and 5-year-olds come walking into the school, book bags as big as them, tears in their eyes, missing mom and dad. They go down our hallway to the preschool room, to the kindergarten room. They're ambling down there. They don't know what they're in for. They're scared. I blinked and they've grown. Now they're middle schoolers. They're making relationships. They're developing their own personalities. They're becoming unique. I went home and I came back to the school. Now they're seniors. Their time here is coming to an end. This is just temporary. You can see the potential. They're growing into adults. They're becoming leaders. They're preparing for the next steps. They rely on us less and less. They become more independent every day. And that brings us to today. And these days are always hard for me. It's a passage of time. I'm sure every parent in this room feels the same times 100. I'll have one of my own sitting here shortly. I have no idea how I'll get through that day. And the thing is I'll be back here next week. I'll be back here next fall. These kids won't be. That's sad. We will never see them again the way we do now. But it's also satisfying and it's gratifying to me. We gave them all that we could. We prepared them for the next steps. And this group will do great. Before us sits future leaders of our society. I'm very confident in that. And I'm proud to have had a small part in that. And this year has been challenging. Missed events, missed time with our friends, and missed opportunities. Everyone in this gym can give an example. Mine, bucket list, coaching or playing in a state boys basketball tournament, and not able to knock down the door as a player, close, couldn't get it done. coach with the girls, Henningsgard girls, they're here. Made the state, wonderful, so much fun. The next thing was to get to be there with a boys team, and we make it, but we don't. The realization that's not going to happen, the pain, the frustration that follows, it's still there. Thing is, kids, Joe Carson, parents, I'd love to tell you this is as bad as it's ever going to get. I'd be lying to you 100%. You will go through times in your life much harder than these. You're going to lose relationships, jobs. You're going to lose loved ones. I lost my last grandma this morning. Tough. Those things are coming for you, and they're coming for each one of us. But I'm telling you, the absolute key is you got to pull yourself off the floor, and you got to keep moving forward. You got to persevere. You got to put your best foot forward. When life fails to live up to your expectations, and it has the last couple months, above all else, you have to find the strength to move on. You got to let it go. Leave your disappointments, your what ifs, and your if onlys behind you. You got to move on. You need to enjoy today and prepare yourself for tomorrow. And that won't happen if you're fighting with yourself about all the things you can't change. Life's about battles. They're battles that each one of us have faced inside that no one knows about. And there's battles outside too. I'm here to tell you, when you've reconciled with the person who you are inside, when you've won that battle, the battles that come from you, outside of you, you'll be able to handle. You'll make it through. I'd like to recognize a few special awards that I don't know that they've been recognized, and there's people here that got more awards than just these. These are 3 that were given to me that we need to recognize. One is Gina Troffgruben being named Academic All-State Bronze Team. Very deserving. Gina's done a lot for the school. We're going to miss her a lot. Abby Magnuson was named as an alternate on the Lions basketball team. Abby's a very good athlete. She'll be playing track and basketball next year at Dakota Wesleyan. Sure going to miss Abby. Let's give her a round of applause. Carson Henningsgard, he was named 3 times the first team All-State basketball as a Lions All-Star, and he was the North Dakota Class B Player of the Year. All of us really enjoyed watching Carson, I know, as a coach. Hearing his name called out of that starting lineup, I thought every game we were going to win. So the mark he's left on the basketball court is one that is huge. He'll be missed a lot. Congratulations, Carson. I'm really honored to be able to work with this group of kids. They are a special group. I'd like to close with the poem entitled The Paradoxical Commandments. It's by Dr. Kent Keith. There's a version out there from Sister Teresa. This is a different version. Dr. Kent Keith published this in 1968. People are illogical, unreasonable, and self-centered. Love them anyway. If you do good, people will accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Do good anyway. If you're successful, you'll win false friends and true enemies. Succeed anyway. The good you do today will be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Honesty and frankness make you vulnerable. Be honest and frank anyway. The biggest men and women with the biggest ideas can be shot down by the smallest men and women with the smallest minds. Think big anyway. People favor underdogs but follow only top dogs. Fight for a few underdogs anyway. What you spend years building may be destroyed overnight. Build anyway. People really need help, but they may attack you if you do help them. Help people anyway. Give the world the best you have, and you'll get kicked in the teeth. Give the world the best you have anyway. Congratulations and best of luck to the Central Valley graduating class of 2020.
The following individuals have met or exceeded the criteria set forth by the State of North Dakota and the Central Valley Board of Education and are therefore eligible to receive their diplomas. Luke Arnold. Carl Anderson. Joseph Camrood. Caitlin Ensign. Abigail Haynes. Carson Henningsgaard. Russell Higdom. Hunter Johnson. Molly Knutsvig. Zayden Longi. Abigail Magnuson. Coy Olson. Courtney Seward. Aaron Sondrel. and Gina Troftgruben. Graduates, please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor that I present to you the Central Valley graduating class of 2020. You may be seated. At this time, we would like to recognize our class of 2020 honor students and scholarship winners. For an individual to qualify to be an honor student, they must have a cumulative GPA of 3.75 or higher and scored proficient or higher on all state testing. We would also like to thank the following entities and the individuals for their great generosity in providing scholarships: American Crystal Sugar, the American Legion, the Bank of North Dakota, Central Valley Dollars for Scholars, Dakota Wesleyan University, John Twanley Memorial Scholarship, Lake Region State College, Mayville State University, North Dakota State University, North Dakota JCs, North Dakota Farm Bureau, Patrick Den Rural Water Scholarship, Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust, Reynolds Community Betterment, Reynolds Knights of Columbus, RML Trading, the State of North Dakota Scholarship Program, Trail County Crop Improvement Scholarship, the University of Minnesota Crookston, the University of North Dakota, the Valiant Future Aspirations Scholarship, Wayne and Dorothy Gustafson Scholarship, and the recipients of these are Luke Arnold, Luke has received scholarships from Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Student of the Month, Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust, North Dakota Academic Scholarship, Patrick Den Rural Water Scholarship, NDSU Provost Award, American Crystal Sugar, and Valiant Future Aspirations. Luke is also an honor student. Carl Anderson. Carl has received scholarships from the CV Dollars for Scholars and the Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust scholarships. Joseph Camrood. Scholarships from Central Valley Dollars for Scholars, Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Student of the Month, Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust scholarships, Trail County Crop Improvement, and the University of Minnesota Crookston Academic Achievement scholarships. Joey is also an honor student. Caitlin Ensign. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Student of the Month. Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust. Mayville State Freshman Honor Scholarship. North Dakota CTE Scholarship. Reynolds Community Betterment Scholarship. And the John Twomley Memorial Scholarship. Caitlin is also an honor student. Abigail Haynes. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Student of the Month. Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust. Trail County Crop Improvement Scholarship. North Dakota JC's Scholarship. And the Trail County Farm Bureau Scholarships. Carson Henningsgaard. Dollars for Scholars Scholarship. Dollars for Scholars Student of the Month. Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust. Lake Region State College Honor Scholarship. Lake Region State College Athletic Scholarship. And Valiant Future Aspirations Scholarship. Carson is also an honor student. Russell Higdom. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Scholarship. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Student of the Month. Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust. Wayne and Dorothy Gustafson Scholarship. And the North Dakota Academic Scholarship Award. Hunter Johnson. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Scholarship and Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Student of the Month Scholarship. Molly Knutsvig. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Scholarship and Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust Scholarship awardee. Zayden Longi. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Scholarship, Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Student of the Month, Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust, and North Dakota CTE Scholarships. Abigail Magnuson. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Scholarship. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Student of the Month. Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust. Dakota Wesleyan Trustee Academic Scholarship. Dakota Wesleyan Athletic Scholarship. North Dakota Academic Scholarship. And American Legion Post number 172 Academic Scholarship. Abigail is also an honor student. Coy Olson. Central Valley's Dollars for Scholars Scholarship. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Student of the Month. Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust awardee. North Dakota Academic Scholarship, NDSU Provost Award, and RML Trading Scholarships. Coy Olson is also an honor student. Courtney Seward. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Scholarship. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Student of the Month. Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust. Lake Region Academic Scholarship. North Dakota CTE Scholarship. American Crystal Sugar VOTEC Scholarship. And American Legion Post number 172 Scholarship Awardee. Aaron Sondrel. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Scholarship. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Student of the Month Scholarship. Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust Awardee. And the John Twomley Memorial Scholarship winner. And Gina Troffgruben. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Scholarship. Central Valley Dollars for Scholars Student of the Month. Roy and Yvonne McNeil Trust. And North Dakota Academic Scholarship. Gina is also a honor student.
Good afternoon. I'm Abigail Magnuson, the senior class vice president. Before I begin, I want to thank you all that are here in attendance today, both in person and virtually, to support our class of 2020. We wouldn't be where we are today without your love and support. Today will be marked as one of the most unforgettable days in our lives. I think I can speak for all of us when I say how proud and honored we are to be here today. This day is one we are all going to remember, all our special memories and celebrations, with a few challenges thrown in. I mean, with our class, you have to keep things interesting. Not to be a downer, but we did start our senior year off with a blizzard, canceling homecoming. I know at the beginning of this year, when I was imagining how our graduation ceremony would be, I could never have anticipated how our time together would be changed. Our time together was cut short. This isn't quite how we all imagined our last days of high school and graduation would be. On March 13th, we didn't have a clue that our traditional school days together would be suddenly transformed into virtual classrooms from home. No one thought it was the last day of sports, the last day of Mario Kart in the lounge, the last day of calling each other annoying nicknames, you know who you are, the last day of normal. I don't think the thought actually crossed any of our minds until the night the boys' state basketball tournament was postponed along with all spring sports. Our lives were changing. But the class of 2020 is strong, and we have come to adapt to these changes. We have learned to adjust to the new normal. There's a quote by Vivian Green that I find has a strong connection to the class of 2020. Quote, "It's not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain." These past couple of months have taught us how to live with the inevitable and unpredictable storms of life. We are all going to face challenges that come with both successes and failures. For times we do fail, and when life gets rough, what is going to matter is how we react to the situation. How we will react is what will build our resilience, our drive, and will fuel us for success. While it may take a lot of effort to go out there and dance in the rain instead of shying away and taking cover from the storm, I feel that the class of 2020 has learned to do this well these past few months. After classes, we would sometimes hop on a separate Zoom call and work together on homework. Or What usually would happen is we'd get distracted and start talking about something else. This was our new socializing in the halls, our new way of connecting with one another. We have taken our experiences and turned them into advantages. We had to learn to make our own schedules to get our work done. And little did we know, this was preparing us to create our own schedules for when we go to college or enter the workforce. We basically received a free crash course in time management. Sadly, we did miss out on many opportunities. Some of us missed out on senior privileges. We didn't get a senior skip day, or I guess you could say we took the longest senior skip day ever. We missed out on pivotal moments like senior pranks, extracurriculars, our final trips to state, and going around the school to say one last goodbye to our teachers. And I mean, we did miss out on finals, darn. There are many people that were involved in helping every one of us learn to dance in the rain during this ongoing storm. I would like to thank our parents for being there to listen to our struggles during these times. They were there to do the little things to make our long days at home just a little bit better. Thank you for the banners that you displayed around town to show your pride in the class of 2020. Thank you for the photo shoot that made things feel a little bit more normal. And thank you for the parade to make sure that the whole community could be included in our celebration. Thank you for making us all feel that we are truly all in this together. Thank you to our siblings, grandparents, and other relatives for being there and spreading words of encouragement to help us through these hard times. Thank you to teachers who have also learned to dance in the rain by staying positive and continuing to give an evolving, ever-changing form of education. You pushed through those awkward moments of silence when you'd ask us a question and we'd just all leave our mics on mute until you told us the answers. Thank you to the teachers for the Central Valley Teacher Farewell video. We appreciated your words of support and encouragement. The only thing that could have made it better would be have you to here to support us in person today. Thank you to apps such as Quizlet and Photomath for being there for us, giving us the right answers when we are in need, because our assignments are due in 5 minutes. Thank you to our coaches, especially the spring sports coaches. I know not getting just one more season with your senior players was just as hard on you as it was on us. You have always been there through the years to help us grow not only as athletes, but also as a person. Thank you to the administration and school board for making this day possible. It means the world to us to be able to don our caps and gowns and walk across the stage sharing one last memory with the class of 2020. And lastly, thank you to my classmates, not only for being great classmates, but being great friends. We have created memories that are gonna last a lifetime. We did it. We learned to dance in the rain. Congratulations to the Central Valley class of 2020.
even your year, but I'll be there for you. When the rain starts to fall, I'll be there for you. Like I've been there before, I'll be there for you, 'cause you're there for me too. You're still in bed at 10 and work again at 8. You burned your breakfast so far, things are going great. Your mother warned you there'd be days like these, but she didn't tell you when the world was brought down to your knees. And I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. No one could ever know me, no one could ever see me. Seems you're the only one who knows what it's like to be me. Someone to face the day with, make it through all of the rest with. Someone I always laugh with, even at my worst, the best is you. Yeah. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, even your year. I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too.
Homegrown alligator, see you later. Gotta hit the road, gotta hit the road. The sun ain't changed in the atmosphere, architecture unfamiliar. I could get used to this. Time flies by in the yellow and green. Stick around and you'll see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. We're south of the equator, navigator. Gotta hit the road, gotta hit the road. Deep sea diving round the clock, bikini bottoms, lager tops. I could get used to this. Time flies by in the yellow and green. Stick around and you'll see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. We got two in the front, two in the back, sailing along, and we don't look back. By in the yellow and green, stick around and you'll see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone, a someone, a someone, a someone.
It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A dedication to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate and party with you. Come on now. Let's all celebrate and have a good time, yeah, yeah. Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. Come on now. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. Baby. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright.
I turned on the evening news, saw an old man being interviewed, turning 102 today. asked him what's the secret to life. He looked up from his old pipe, laughed and said, all I can say is, don't blink. Just like that, you're 6 years old and you take a nap and you wake up and you're 25. Then your high school sweetheart becomes your wife. Don't blink, you just might miss your babies growing like mine did, turning into moms and dads. Next thing you know, you better have a 50 years as they're in bed, and you pray and God takes you instead. Trust me, friend, 100 years goes faster than you think. So don't blink. Well, I was glued to my TV when it looked like he looked at me and said, best start putting first things first. 'Cause when your hourglass runs out of sand, you can't flip it over and start again. Take every breath God gives you for what it's worth. Don't blink, 'cause just like that, you're 6 years old and you take a nap and you wake up and you're 25. Then your high school sweetheart becomes your wife. Don't blink, you just might miss your babies growing like mine did, turning into moms and dads. Next thing you know, you better have a 50 years as they're in bed, and you pray and God takes you instead. Trust me, friend, 100 years goes faster than you think. So don't blink. No, don't blink. Life goes faster than you think.
I took my love, took it down. Climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills, till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Take my love, take it down. Climb a mountain and turn around, and if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, where the landslide bring it down, and if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, where the landslide bring it down.
Thank you for joining us on yourliveevent.com for the 2020 Central Valley School Commencement Ceremony.